Welcome back to Zeke1 Plays. Glad that you've joined me today. Today, we're going to be talking about Armored Core 6 and how to get all of the boss fights unlocked and how to make sure that you're able to get all the endings, which of course are important for trophies, but also if you're like me and you just want to experience every boss that the game has to offer, you're going to have to follow some steps like this. And so I had a lot of questions about this, so I decided to make a little guide about it for myself and then, of course, share it with you guys so you can use it as well. All right, and so what I'm going to be showing you is where I'm at in the game right now, which is really the important spot for making the decision about which ending you're going to achieve. And so let's go ahead and go to the sorting menu. And where I'm at in the missions right now is Chapter 5. After the first couple of missions of Chapter 5, you get to a couple of decision missions, and these are the most important decision missions in the game. First one is intercept the corporate forces, and the second one is eliminate Cinder Carla. Basically, you have this huge ship that's flying, and it's about to try to crash into the coral production thing in order to blow it up and release the coral, or just to end what they're trying to do with the coral. I know it sounds kind of confusing, but basically you're choosing to back either Cinder Carla and help her crash the ship into the coral building, or you're choosing to eliminate Cinder Carla and continue mining the coral. And in that, you would be backing the Arquebus group, okay? And so both of these lead to a very different ending. And these are the most important decision chapters that you can possibly make. Now, there are some earlier chapters that have decisions as well. A good, for instance, would be, let's see, right here. Intercept the Red Guns or ambush the Vespers, which both of those come in Chapter 4. And, by the way, intercept the Red Guns is a lot harder, in my opinion, than the Vespers. But from what I understand, those two have a little bit of story weight for the next few chapters, and they affect a couple of gameplay stuff in the next few chapters. But choosing these two doesn't really matter as opposed to the ending. At the end, as long as you go to Chapter 5 and you select the correct one of these, you'll get the ending that you're going for. Now, the two endings that we're talking about here, if you choose intercept the corporate forces, this is where we get into spoilers, by the way. So you're going to want to make sure that you tune out if you're worried about that. So with the spoilers, warning already given, intercept the corporate forces is going to allow you to go ahead and crash the Xylem into the coral unit, which is going to upset Air, who is the voice in your head, and she's going to be the final boss who's going to try to defend you off instead of letting you destroy the coral or reignite the fires of Ibis. And so yeah, that's an interesting ending, and that one is called the Fires of Raven, which of course you're taking on the new name because you're going to be the cause of the new fires of Ibis. The second ending, if you choose eliminate Cinder Carla, that is going to stop the Xylem's plan from hitting the building and blowing up all the coral, which is going to give you the Liberator of Rubicon mission, or at least the Liberator of Rubicon ending. And so what that does is it basically allows you to bring down the Xylem and, of course, kill Cinder Carla of the Overseer. And this will also make your final boss be Handler Walter, who is, of course, also part of Overseer, and he wants to make sure that the Xylem achieves its purpose, and he's not going to stand for you getting in the way of his plan. So, yeah, super interesting. Those are the two main endings, right? And then we have what I would call the true ending. The true ending is unlocked through a very interesting way of playing the game, and this is it. Basically, you have to go through New Game Plus. And on the third cycle, that's when you'll get the true, quote-unquote, ending of the game, all right? And so basically, you'll go through all of the missions 2 times. So complete the game once, and then complete the game twice. And my advice would be to do the 2 different endings, so you make sure you get the 2 endings. And then the third time you're going through the game, you need to make sure that you've completed all of the arena missions, including the analysis ones. So make sure that you have verified, written next to all 9 of these, and next to all, however many, 29 of these encounters. You got to make sure that all of those say verified, and then proceed with the game as normal. And you'll notice in that New Game Plus Plus run, after Chapter 4, things take a pretty big divergence in terms of like what your options are for those last few missions. And no matter what you choose, it's going to lead you in the direction of the true ending, which is the ending where you get to fight Allmind, and Allmind's perfected robot that you've helped her build through the arena battles. And so really, really cool way to achieve these 3 endings. And that unlocks those 3 bosses that you wouldn't necessarily find if you chose the wrong ending. And so those 3 bosses are, again, Air, who has her own AC, Handler Walter, who has his own AC, and then, of course, the final one, Allmind, which is based off of the arena data, and it can only be accomplished in New Game Plus Plus. Hope that helps you find all these extra bosses and combats that you're looking for. And then finally, I want to also mention one more boss that is missable through these decision missions, and that is a boss called Cataphract. And I believe it's in Chapter 3. Let's see here. Chapter 3, you're going to be looking for, there it is. This is a mission that you don't necessarily have to accept. You'll have the opportunity to eliminate enforcement squads or destroy enemy craft. And if you choose destroy enemy craft, then you're going to be treated to the battle against Cataphract. Cataphract is a really cool boss. He's also pretty easy. I've only died to him 1 time total. But yeah, you definitely don't want to miss that boss either. It is a fun one. It's definitely unique. And so definitely give that a check out whenever you get the chance. All right, I thought I'd pop back on here really quick one more time and just explain a final time how exactly these endings work and how they flow together, and exactly how you can accomplish each one. All right, just to be clear, the first time you get to Chapter 5, you may choose either one of these 2 missions, and they'll result in a single ending. So let's say you choose to eliminate Cinder Carla, and that's going to result in the Liberator of Rubicon ending, okay? And you'll get to fight Handler Walter. Then, the next New Game cycle, New Game Plus, if you choose to intercept the corporate forces, you're going to be eliminating V1 Freud of the Vespers, and that will lead you to the Fires of Raven ending, which is going to have the final boss of Air. All right? And then only available in New Game Plus Plus, you have the opportunity to proceed with the game like normal, but your final boss will be Allmind, and you'll get another special ending that many are calling the true ending. All right, hopefully that was clear enough for you. That's all we have for this quick ending guide. I hope that it helps you find all the bosses that you need to fight all the bosses and to accomplish the endings that you want to accomplish in order to get trophies or just to experience the game in full. Thanks so much, and for everything else, keep it tuned here at ZK1 Plays. See ya.